Hello and welcome to today's live stream, Boundaries Part 2. I'm Robin Hessinger, psychic medium and metaphysical mentor, and we are talking with the angels today, doing some channeling. And if you have any questions about boundaries in intimate relationships, friendships, family relationships, anything about boundaries in relationships, please post a comment below. I'm going to log into the other screen or check the other screen or welcome. Welcome. Here we are. Boundaries Part 2. So, because I can't see comments on this screen, so give me just a second. And also, super. Okay. So we're officially live. We're always live, but we're live streaming. Boundaries. Okay. So this has been a big topic for many, an emotional topic for many. And well, hey, it's Monday. First of all, happy Monday. Welcome to a new week, fresh energy, fresh start, clean slate. Here we are. And please say hello in the comments below, and also post any questions that you have about boundaries or any insights that you have received, downloaded since the last live stream on Boundaries Part 1. So if there's any new awarenesses that have come to you, any insights, downloads, any ahas, would love for you to share that in the comments. And again, if you have any questions. And it feels like today, I'm hearing intimate relationships, so the intimate, personal, romantic relationships, family relationships, and also like really close friends, right? And one of the other things, so I'm hearing like 5 things at once. I'm also hearing questions. Okay, just checking the comments here. Hello, hi Teresa, hi Carl. Oh, boundaries with teachers. Yeah. And Carl, if there's something more specific in that question, please post it as well. And then we'll get right to the heart of it, the core of it. So when we were tuning in a couple days ago, we were initially talking about boundaries. One of the things that's particularly challenging for empaths, light workers, and healers, which if you're watching this live or watching the replay, chances are you are one or all of those, an empath, a light worker, a healer, is that we sense we don't have the same. It's like, okay, the angels are showing me an egg, right? An eggshell. And you know, if you've ever cracked an eggshell, or you have a hard-boiled egg or something, a hard-boiled Easter egg or something, and you go to peel it, there's sometimes, before you get to the egg white or the egg yolk, there's sometimes this thin membrane, or that's the only way I can describe it right now. And it's like a lot of people, a lot of beings, what the angels are showing me is a lot of beings have like this eggshell around them. For empaths, it's like we don't always have that full shell. It's more like that thin membrane. And what happens is then we are sensing everybody else's feelings, emotions, energies, and we're super sensitive. We have heightened spidey senses. And so we're sensing things more than other people, especially other people's feelings, emotions. We also know when we're being lied to. We have really strong, lie detector, or this is supposed to be like a dial or a meter, a lie detector or a BS detector, right? But we also feel, and I'm feeling this in my heart chakra. So everyone who's watching, who's joining and connecting with us now in this moment live, please take a breath. Please imagine a breath in and out of your heart chakra. And also if you're watching the replay, same thing. Take a breath now to allow for some expansion as we're talking about this, because anything that's triggering, anything that's emotionally triggering or feels or resonates really strong with us, we can have contraction around, right? So the angels are showing me that we need some more expansion, and we do that through breath. So taking a really big breath and allowing in more peace, calm, and tranquility, letting go of anything you don't want to hang on to, and then we'll continue talking about boundaries and empaths. Okay, so especially in intimate interpersonal relationships, being a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a family relationship, we feel these things even more strongly. So we feel someone's anger, disappointment, or frustration, or sadness, or their confusion, or maybe helplessness might be a strong word, but there's times when all of us in our human beingness and our physical bodies and our big intelligent brains can still be frustrated or confused or feeling helpless in a situation, right? And so when we sense that in a loved one, friend, or family member, or as one client puts it, like the woundedness in someone else, when we sense that or feel that, we have a tendency to really lose our shell or our outer layer and kind of merge with our energy or take some of that on. And that means that we don't have that boundary anymore. And then we're just taking on too much of their stuff, right? And we're trying to fix it for them. Again, if you haven't had a chance to listen to the part 1 of this, I'd encourage you to do that when you get an opportunity, because we talked about how, sorry, there's a baby gecko that has just joined us. So, okay, slight distraction. Okay, so, okay, when you have a chance, tune into part 1, because it gives a little more background to this. So we have a tendency to want to fix, help, change, heal in ways that are not necessarily healthy for us, because then we're overgiving, or we're sacrificing, or we're not allowing the other person to have their journey and have their experiences. So one of the questions that came up, and I'm just going to make sure that I have it here. Why can't I cut the emotional cord on intimate relationships that aren't beneficial like I can cut cords with others? Is it needing validation, or is it because I haven't practiced my self-worth enough to have that muscle? And what I'm hearing is that it can definitely be a combination of that, wanting the approval, wanting the validation, or not feeling worthy and deserving enough. But what I'm also hearing is that it's not wanting to disappoint someone. Not wanting to disappoint them, not wanting to hurt them, not wanting them to feel bad or badly, because we know how that feels. We know how it feels ourselves, and we know how it feels when we're sensing it and feeling it in other people, right? So for the person, the lovely being that asked this question, it can be a little bit about wanting the validation. It can be a little bit more about worthiness and deservingness, and not tolerating or putting up with some things, right? And really a bigger part of it, I'm hearing, is not wanting to hurt or disappoint someone, not wanting them to feel the sadness or pain. So instead, It's like you take it on and you stuff it down, and you also stuff down the words that want to come out, which I feel in my throat chakra, I get a little bit raspy. So when you're going to have conversations, whether it's a in-person conversation or phone or Zoom or text or however you're having the conversation or email, to call on your angels to help you speak your truth and to help you speak from a place of higher self and soul. Because those words that come through are very true. They're very authentic. They're very genuine. It's like the essence of who you are that is speaking and sharing your truth. And when you are sharing from that place, you're in your power, you're in your strength, you're in your love, you're in your compassion, you're in your sovereignty, you're in your peace, you're in your calm, and you're not as concerned, and I feel it a bit in my solar plexus, my abdomen, so we are going to do a clearing for third chakra, as well as infusing more light and power into your third chakra. But what I'm hearing is that when you call on the angels, when you call on your soul higher self to have that conversation, then everything comes through clear. It's also energetically clear, and you're not as then you're not tangled up in the feelings and the emotions of the other person, and you're allowing yourself to speak your truth, and you're allowing them to have the experience of receiving it however they choose to receive it. If they welcome it, if they embrace it, if they're triggered by it, if they're angry about it, whatever it is, they're allowed to have that experience, and you're not tangled up in it or caught up in it. So, and I realize this is, well, it's about boundaries, but I guess it's another tip, advice, guidance from the angels about how to have those conversations when you notice that you haven't had boundaries, or you're not having boundaries, or strong enough boundaries, or clear enough boundaries, and that you're emotionally entangled in it and you're not able to cut the cords or separate yourself. So, and I hope this makes sense. Please let me know in the comments below if this is making sense. And hello, Roxanne. Welcome. Let me just see, because I can see more comments have come in. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. Okay. Carl, thank you for the clarification. I have a teacher who turned out to be human, not walking his talk. Yeah, and it's interesting too, because I also get a sense of disappointment. And what we were just talking about for the previous question, about why wasn't she able to cut cords with somebody in the same way that she is with other people, or separate herself, it was not wanting to disappoint them, right? And for you, Carl, as well, I'm hearing I'm hearing three things, like disappointment, abandonment, and betrayal. Interesting. So, and I'm just asking the angels if I can share the story, and if I can share it without being in my ego. And they say I'm a little bit in my ego and my personality when I share this, and I'm a little bit judgy, so that's a disclaimer before I share this. But years ago, 10, 15 years ago, there was a very prominent, I would say, spiritual, new age, holistic author that was espousing or teaching one thing, right, in their books, in their talks. And when I met them in person, in a hotel lobby, hotel elevator, the way they were treating everyone around them, people in the lobby, people in the elevator, their staff, was not in, it was very incongruent to what they were putting in their books and in their talks, right? It was a big disconnect. And maybe their books and their talks at one time had been authentic and genuine, and maybe something happened along the way. But the behavior they were showing was very disingenuous to the message they'd been sharing and the content they'd been teaching. And for me, it was seeing how we put teachers, healers, gurus, people into guru status practitioners. And then when we see their humanness, we're sometimes hurt or disappointed, or for me, I went into a lot of judgment around it, right? This person's supposed to be better than that. So it's really interesting, but the angels say I'm getting a little sidetracked, and let's go back to your question. So yeah, what I'm hearing, Carl, I'm seeing, like, you put hands on your heart, or a hand on your heart, a hand on your solar plexus, and this is for anyone that has felt disappointed, hurt, betrayed, disillusioned by anyone in their life, right? This will be helpful for you in this moment, or whenever we want to do it, is to put a hand on your heart, hand on your abdomen, and breathe. And imagine beautiful pink light coming in, which is unconditional love. Beautiful green light for healing, golden light, white light, purple light for divinity, blue light for protection. And breathe. And allowing these beautiful energies, this beautiful light, along with the support of your angels and guides, the unconditional love and support. And I also see these angelic arms wrapping around you, like this beautiful divine mother energy, like this transcendent mother energy that's more loving than any mother energy on earth even. This divine loving mother energy, this angelic energy. And please keep breathing. And I'm seeing more golden light into your abdomen, your solar plexus, your third chakra. Personal power, divinity, sovereignty. It's okay if we feel disappointed, confused, betrayed, conflicted, hurt, sad, abandoned, or disillusioned. It's part of our humanness. We also allow that to be released now, to be transmuted, disintegrated, evaporated, just seeing it either being lifted off or washed away, and being replaced with divine love, unconditional love, love for ourselves, compassion for ourselves, gentleness for ourselves, compassion for others, and wholeness for ourselves, WHOLENESS, wholeness for ourselves. And breathing and receiving in these beautiful energies. The birds are singing outside. Receiving more pink light for unconditional love, green light for healing, and more golden light. Take one more breath. And then if you have your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. How are you feeling? That felt really good. That felt really, really good. So, yeah, understanding that we all have our humanness, and we also have our opportunities for our divinity here on earth. And that's part of what, as well, and a separate topic, but moving into the fifth dimensional and energies and beyond is moving more into our divine self, our sovereign self, right? And releasing a lot of these physical constraints, physical triggers, and also anything that's weighing us down physically, spiritually, mentally, or emotionally. So let me just check in with the comments. You are so welcome, Tammy. And yeah. So anytime you're having trouble separating from someone else or cutting cords with someone else, even if you don't physically want to separate from them, or you still want to remain friends or in contact with them if they're a family member or a loved one, you still want to be in a relationship with a loved one, just notice whether it's a cord because of vulnerability, of worthiness, self-love, or if there's feelings of disappointment or abandonment or betrayal. And then doing something like a short self-healing like that, and then go into your cord cutting and releasing, and it'll be much easier. I just want to ask if there's anything else the angels want to say. Okay, the other thing they want to say is that, and we've touched on this a number of times over the past month, around releasing karmic stuff, burning away karmic stuff, releasing things from this lifetime, from childhood, from past lives or concurrent lives, around, just so many different things, especially any thoughts, beliefs, patterns, habits, or behaviors that are not in our highest good, or are not serving us at this time, or are in a way holding us back or lowering our vibrations, that we can raise into a higher vibration state so we can experience more of this bliss and joy and peacefulness that we're talking about with the ascension, and more of the 5D and 7D energies. And as part of this, you can set the intention to release any thoughts. I'll try and slow this down because all my words are getting mushed together or combined. So thoughts, habits, patterns, behaviors, emotions, or ideas that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're not valuable, we're not lovable, and transmuting those so that we are in our power, we're in our strength, we're in our sovereignty, still in our love and compassion. And so then we have stronger boundaries. And you can still be a loving, gentle, compassionate spirit and have strong boundaries. There was a time, many, many, many moons ago now, when I was in the corporate world, and you had to be very tough, assertive, even aggressive, to have boundaries or to function in that environment. And what the angels say is that even if you are a more gentle soul, spirit, or personality, you can still be gentle, loving, compassionate, empathic, and have strong boundaries. It is possible. Part of it is a shift, like they were talking about, in releasing thoughts, habits, patterns, behaviors, or emotions, and shifting those. And part of it is knowing that you can be your own kind of strong. You can be your own kind of warrior, goddess, god. You can be your own kind of light worker with your own energy, And it doesn't have to be a forceful energy or an aggressive energy. Some of you are light worker warriors, and you're meant to go out and show the world that you can change the system. Some have a more gentler energy, and you can still have strong boundaries and personal boundaries, energetic boundaries, even if you have a more gentle energy, even if your energy isn't super fiery, and you're not one to go into battle or shout it from the rooftops, you can still have strong boundaries. And part of the exercise or the experience that we did today will also help you with that. So let me just see if there's anything else at all, because we're going a little bit longer with this today. And I don't see any other questions. If you have any other questions, we have a few more moments if you want to post your question below. Otherwise, we will trust that what was needed was received, although I am going to pull a card. Pull a card, pull a card, pull a card. Topic today is boundaries. Oh, beautiful. Transmutation. Transmutation and alchemization. So transmuting and alchemizing any lower vibration energies, any programming, any programming patterns, implants, anything that was ingrained to tell you that you weren't worthy, that you weren't lovable, or that you couldn't be strong, or that you had to take on everybody else's stuff and emotions, or that you had to help fix, heal, change everyone else around you. Letting go of that now. Transmuting those energies. And take 3 breaths. And know that this will continue. This transmuting will continue even after this live stream. And for those that will be watching the replay later, I'm hearing for all of us, this transmuting will continue for the next 1 to 3 days, depending on how much you are processing, how much you're releasing, how much you're transmuting, how much you're alchemizing, and how much you're shifting. Be kind, be gentle, be compassionate, be loving with yourself. Rest when you need to. Hydrate, sing, dance, meditate, walk, get out in nature, and allow yourself to experience more joy. The more joy you experience, the easier this is all going to be. Okay, they're saying 2 more cards in the realm of boundaries. What did we just say? Rest if you need to. Retreat. This doesn't have to be going on a big retreat or going to the coast, although if you have access to that, the ocean, water, rivers, lakes are always awesome. This can be a 5-minute retreat, a 15-minute retreat, a half-hour retreat, whatever amount of time that you can find for yourself today to retreat. This will help you as well to shore up your strength, your personal power, embrace your sovereignty, transmute anything that's not in your highest vibration, and help you have stronger boundaries when you come out of it. Okay, so we have transmutation and retreat, and they're saying a 3rd card around boundaries. Okay, sorrow. So there might be some sorrow that comes up in releasing painful stuff from the past, releasing memories, releasing sadness, anger, frustration, disappointments, betrayals, abandonment, disillusion, disappointments. There might be some sorrow in releasing friendships or shifting a dynamic of a relationship. But know that whatever is on the other side is bigger, brighter, more in alignment with your soul and higher self, more in alignment with who you are now, more in alignment with your strength, your power, your sovereignty, your divinity, and your personal boundaries, and more in alignment with who you are called to be, and how you are called to be, and how you are called to live in the future. So even though the card says sadness and sorrow and it looks sad, it's actually a card also about new beginnings. So as you move through the sadness and the sorrow and you release that, you're opening to new beginnings and higher vibration relationships and higher vibration ways of being. And they're saying also an angel word for today. We've been talking about boundaries. This is boundaries part 2. So the word, release. Release anything that's not in your highest good, anything that's not bringing you joy, anything that is compromising your well-being, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, releasing anything that compromises your boundaries. And play. I love this. Angels with a beach ball by the ocean. So play, more joy. Bring in more joy, play, sing, dance, play, drum, play with animals, play with your kids, play with animals, play, enjoy. That's going to help you as well with your personal boundaries. When we're in joy, we're playing, we're higher vibration. When we're higher vibration, we have enhanced personal boundaries. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. If there are any more questions, you can post them in the comments below and I will pop in later to answer them. I'm hearing we also might be doing a follow-up. I don't know if it's part 3 on boundaries or it's a follow-up or a bonus on boundaries bonus, in the coming week. So stay tuned for that. And just wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Lots of love, angel blessings, a big hug, and I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. We'll be doing this again, different topic. We'll see what the angel message is, whether it's about the current energies or answering some of your questions. We'll be doing this again at 1 o'clock Central tomorrow. Lots of love and ciao for now.